Hello, everyone. My name is Sophie Sijenyi, and welcome to Understanding Your Child with Sophie Sijenyi. Today's episode, we are discussing something many parents have strong feelings about. Is spanking a child wrong? For some of us, spanking was normal in our childhood. Some people say, I was spanked and I turned out fine. It's the only thing that works. Children these days are too soft. Others feel deeply uncomfortable with it. So instead of reacting emotionally, let's slow down and think carefully. Why do parents spank? Most parents do not spank because they hate their children. They spank because they feel disrespected, they are overwhelmed, they have repeated instructions many times, they feel out of control, they want the behavior to stop immediately. Spanking often happens in emotional, heated moments. And here is something honest. It often works in that moment. The child stops. But the real question is not whether it works instantly. The question is, what is it teaching long term? So what does it teach? When a child is spanked, several lessons may be learned. Sometimes unconsciously. A child may learn, when I make a mistake, I get hurt. Big people use physical power to solve problems. I must avoid getting caught. What we hope that they learn is, what I did was wrong. I understand why it was wrong. I know what to do differently next time. Those are not always the same lessons. Spanking can stop behavior, but stopping behavior is not the same as building a character. So the emotional impact is children are wired to attachment. Parents are their safest place. So when the same safe place also becomes the source of physical pain, the nervous system reacts. Some children become fearful, some become more aggressive, some withdraw emotionally, some comply externally but feel resentment internally. Not all children show obvious emotional damage, but many children become quieter, not because they understand, but because they are afraid. And fear-based obedience is different from trust-based discipline. So let's look at discipline versus punishment. Discipline means to teach. Punishment means to cause discomfort in response to wrongdoing. Teaching takes time. Punishment is fast. Teaching requires regulation from the adult. Punishment often happens when the adult is dysregulated. And this is where honesty matters. Sometimes spanking is less about correcting the child and more about releasing the parent's frustration. That doesn't make the parent bad. It makes them human. But we must be aware of it. But if I don't spank my child won't listen. This is a real fear. Many parents worry that removing spanking will remove authority. But authority does not come from physical strength. Authority comes from consistency, calm confidence, clear boundaries, predictable consequences. And children respect stability more than fear. A child who fears you may obey you in front of you. And a child who trusts you is more likely to carry your values even when you are not there. So, are there better alternatives? Yes. Effective discipline can include clear and calm consequences, removing privileges, natural consequences, repair conversations, teaching emotional regulation. For example, if a child hits a sibling, instead of spanking, you might say, I will not allow you hitting. That is not safe. You need to sit here with me until you are calm. The boundary is clear, the behavior is addressed, but dignity is preserved. Over time, children learn self-control, not just fear. If you have spanked before, this is not a moment for guilt. Parenting is learned. Many of us are repeating what we experience, but growth means we pause and ask, is there a way to guide without physical force? Is there a way to correct while protecting connections? The goal is not perfection. The goal is intentional parenting. Spanking may create short-term silence, but long-term character grows best in safety, consistency, and emotional connection. Children do not need fear to learn. They need guidance, they need boundaries, they need regulated adults, and they need you when you are calm. So thank you so much for joining me today. Today's episode is about bringing up a child who is emotionally fit. My name is Sophie Sijenyi, and this is my podcast on understanding your child with Sophie Sijenyi. If today's episode resonated with you, please remember to share it with another parent, a teacher, or a caregiver. And see you next time in my next episode. Thank you.